Also here you could see that security officers are using shockers to control the crowd because many of them are struggling and trying to get in there. They've been asked to join a queue or form queues, but some wouldn't follow the directive, and as such, security officials on duty are trying their best to control them. We are here bringing you exclusive shots of the screening. First has ended, and then second is yet to roll.
It is not like a free-for-all video. So without an invitation, then it is not possible you can have access to the auditorium.
Okay, but can I come in the name of someone, or even then say a big man has asked me to come? Is this accepted?
We need an invitation. If a big man has asked you, you should have an invitation. That is what we know. And apart from the invitation too, we would also be subjecting people who are coming to a thorough search and also screening. And this is also for us to satisfy ourselves that we are able to clear people who may have an intention of causing any kind of problem by carrying with them any implement that is likely to cause danger to one person or the other. So it is very important that we do all this.
Okay. So as we speak, we have Aremeyaw arriving, or someone at least who looks like him on the premises. We can't tell really. So you can see a number of people accompanying the person dressed like him and a whole lot.
So apart from the bodily search or the screening, we also require the general public to also take care of their personal valuables as well, especially those who will be using vehicles and be parking at the parking lot. This has always been my style to advise all of us so that we don't leave things like electrical and handy gadgets, like phones, iPads, at the full glare of passerby, so that it does not attract anyone who may not have a good intention, but some of these things, when they are left, it is likely that it will attract the attention of a bad person, a bad guy, to your car. But apart from that, we'll have personnel from the Motor Traffic and Transport Department who would also be offering the necessary assistance or help when it comes to direction of traffic and anything that entails that area. But we have a comprehensive security arrangement for today's program. The fact that we are here in our numbers and we've seen police does not mean we are not working collaboratively or we are not coordinating with other security institutions. We have a number of us also all involved. But just that usually police that takes the lead in. We also take a lot of input from the other security agencies. So in all, I think that for security-wise, we expect everything to go by the way we expect.
Thank you very much, and well spoken. Got every angle of it covered. We wish to thank the Accra Regional Police Command Public Relations Officer, Ifya Tingi. But before then, we can see someone in the like of Anas Aremeyaw, Anas. That we can't tell really, but he looks like him. At least walking in and out. So I want to give you more details of it. This is Gabriel Newbudai Kawashon reporting.
Kwesi Nyantakyi is a hypocrite. The president of Ghana Football Association, he doesn't deserve one day to be called the president of Ghana Football Association. How can he boastfully says you can buy this president, our president Nana Addo Dankwa, for $5 million? How can he say that you can buy vice president Bawumia for $2 million? And above all, how can Nyantakyi tell us that if an investor is able to bribe Kwesi Nyantakyi, road and transport minister and his deputy, and then also bribe vice president and the president of our nation $12 million, this belongs to the investor. Nyantakyi should step down now, and it should be now or never. Please, if you love me and you love Ghana football, my message out there to you is let's clean Kwesi Nyantakyi out, and it will trigger now to
on the second
everyone.
Very sad, very, very sad, but I'm glad that many people, particularly young people, have had an opportunity to see what goes on sometimes behind closed doors amongst very powerful people. I hope this will be an opportunity and a wake-up call for the ordinary man, woman, and youth to say enough is enough. We are all equal in front of the law, before the law, and we must demand social justice, justice for every Ghanaian. I hope every person who's offered a bribe will think twice now, you know? So this disclosure, this terrible, terrible video, I hope would serve a purpose. And I think people can say no. People must say no. I want to recall here the Akosombo Dam many decades ago in the 60s when it was constructed. Did you know that it was completed a year ahead of schedule and 20% under budget? So I want our young people to go back and revisit some of the things that were done in this country to make it great, to make us proud and dignified. Poverty, many people are lacking of everything, but poverty is not an excuse for dishonesty. So we don't need to go there. But we would even feel sorry for a thief sometimes, but it's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. You know, we have to build this nation, and we have to be proud of it and ourselves. But the point is what to do moving forward. And I think the message is clear. Enough is enough.
It's very sad for our governance system. I shed a bit of tears looking at my brother Kwesi Nyantakyi, over animated and excited, and went beyond the remit of his professional and occupational field. Now to talk directly about politics and how involved he is in the political structure in this country, to the extent that he has financed and sponsored individuals who are now in government. And he needs to sort out certain individuals, including the loudmouth, who in recent times we have all heard and seen his loud mouthing. At the end of the day, what it means to me is that our sense of being is all influenced by material. What it also tells me is that rent-seeking is a major player in our governance system. What it also tells me is that we must look at the cost of financing and engaging in politics in Ghana. Because Kwesi Nyantakyi has made us know that the president sold personal and family property in order to get to this stage to become president. And therefore, you need to recoup. You need to get back onto the stage before you became president. Going forward, let's introduce civics into our curriculum. I cannot understand why we cannot introduce our cultural values that will lead us to a certain level of honesty, sincerity in the way we do things. It also tells some of us that as young politicians, we must be mindful of the people that we are dealing with, particularly individuals who get closer to us, what they can use our image and our names to achieve, even for themselves. Sometimes it's possible that in all these things, if monies were parted, as we saw in some other instances, monies were parted to individuals and it didn't yield the kind of benefit that we all wanted. It's sad.
For the low-profile persons caught on tape getting or accepting the bribes, could it be that the poor remuneration for within the system then made them accept the bribes? And it could have happened to just anyone, looking at the circumstance.
Some 2 or 3 individuals who spoke their mind and said they will not do it. In some of the cases, in the case of Blue, they said, look, I have done so many things, nobody has recognized me. So it appears that some of them, I mean, they just spoke their mind and you offered them something and they didn't refuse. I don't think that that will not be a bribe. Because if you come to me as a journalist, after you have interviewed me, and you are going and say, look, my brother, I wanted to go for lunch, have something for lunch. I'm not sure that I bribed you to come and do your job. So if you ask me to do something, and you think that this is what you want to give me, and I didn't solicit for it, and you didn't tell me that I'll pay you for the services, and you offer me something and I take, and you capture me on tape and say I am corrupt, I'm not sure that I'm corrupt at all. But I think that it should go to the bigger picture of how have we been brought up? What is the level of honesty amongst our people? How are we guided as a people to ensure that, look, material is not everything. And that's why I'm saying that if you don't introduce civics, if you throw away our religions, now basic education, we don't even do religion. We used to do religions and we're taught some cultural things that will tell you that, look, a good name is better than riches.
Not really. I think the only challenge I have, okay, Anas has done a very good job, but then the only challenge I have is the aspect that at least I thought they would have given it the benefit of the doubt to try 1 or 2 personalities, okay, that appeared in the video, from its natural environment other than the artificial, because all the indications that we saw from the video, okay, everything was coming from Anas, everything was coming from Tiger Eye, and so on and so forth. And especially going by the setting, nothing called for it. Tiger Eye, by their own volition, they got up, they say, oh, let me go to Metro TV, let me go to this person, let me go here and there. The perception is already out there that in Africa, or Ghana per se, our economic circumstances is such that, okay, the sporting community, if you go there with any money of a sort, people will just fall for it. And if you go by the video, at least over 100 personalities that we saw in there, only one person came out to say that, oh, I don't think this money. And if you consider the kind of money being like 300 Ghana, 500,000 Ghana, and you see, if it had been an ordinary person coming out to say, I won't accept it, then we could have said the person did what? This person in question is a lawyer. And you know lawyers, at least a little, yes, you say you don't go there with this small money.
So could it then be that they are not really to blame, but the circumstance?
That is where people
because
were.
It could have happened to just anyone.
Exactly. Especially when you were not aware that there's camera anywhere, you understand? Somebody who doesn't know you. So one short thing, take this money and do this. And some of the pictures to portray that the people themselves didn't even ask Anas for anything. Exactly. But Anas out of his own way say, oh my friend, take it. So up to that point, if God is not on your side, to stick to your grounds, you see, you were thinking it's an ordinary thing, they are just giving it to me, let me just take it. In the video also, some referees collected the money, but then the influence was not seen. Are you getting it? On the field of play. So I was thinking, or maybe in the future, when Anas wants to do things of this nature, they should go a bit extra mile okay, rather than just implicating people. Because whoever appeared in the video, trust me, it's going to affect you, your career, where you work, your family members, and everything. Where from the natural setting, that wasn't even your intention. So that is the challenge I have. Bribery and corruption is something that is not condoned, okay, globally. So be it in Ghana here or international community. Once there's evidence indicating that you've involved yourself in corruption in one form or the other, it's criminal. Corruption is criminal in our system. And then in most jurisdictions also is also criminal. Albeit a misdemeanor, the mode of punishment is not that high when it comes to Ghana here.
I don't understand why he's still holding to his position. Any serious person would have resigned now. Any serious person. He makes the referees and all that is child's play. Anybody with serious integrity should not be thinking about holding his position. He should honorably resign. Ghana football, we are in great danger. Serious danger. We know about GNPC deal. The deal came and they all said, oh, the company was running it. Later on, when the GNPC came out, they all ran away, no company was there. That's the rot that has existed at the FA. And this time it was exhausted. In the case of the referees' own, honestly speaking, you could see anyone could be compromised. The way and method they go about. I feel sad for somebody like Linia Ade for what he has done for women's sports all along and be caught on camera taking a peanut of 300 in his. I feel very sad.